Premier Heating and Air is who you need to call to check all the boxes. Google Guarantee, check. Better Business Bureau A+ rating, check. 4.9 star with Google, check. Premier Guarantee, check. We even offer free second opinions and free estimates on new units. Call or log on today. Premier is here. Cannot be combined with other offer. Expires 8/31/26.
Welcome everybody. Glad to be here today with the board, Dublin-Laurens County Recreation Board. Instead of me introducing everybody, Brian, why don't you introduce them?
So Jack is actually my chairman for my board, and you know, he was a big part of having this built. So for us, him being a part of it and my board being a part of it was really big for us and our community. Jack's always stepped in and helped. Also Miss Tracy Morgan, who was we hired for our marketing. We wanted to be able to get out to the public some of the things that we were doing, and we felt like she would do a really good job, and she has. And then beside her, we have Casey Cullen. He is our athletic director, and he is over all of our legacy sports. He has done a really good job, and looking forward to the things that he's brought to the table with us. And then we've hired Eli Floyd to help Casey in the athletics. Eli, he comes from a baseball family. Sports has been in his pedigree, so and he's well known in our community. So with that, you know, this is kind of our dream team for going to the World Series bid process. You know, so excited for our community.
Okay, what we're talking about is the Diamond Youth Baseball World Series coming in 2028. And I was doing some research on it. It's been around longer than I've been around. I couldn't believe it. It was easy to add since I took my age and added 4 more years. But 70 years this league's been around. It's grown so much. There's over 33,000 kids involved in this. So this is a big deal, isn't it, Brian?
Yes, sir. You know, we've been looking at this for a while. We actually played in it in 2024. And my family and the families that went out there and played in it had a great time. I mean, just a really good time. It was in Louisiana. And it's just, you know, a week-long tournament that was a lot of fun.
Jack, y'all went out there, and I come up with some adjectives. I was looking how big this was, and I wrote down some adjectives like massive, enormous, gigantic, colossal. I had to look up what that meant, actually. But with your background, you skipped his engineering / architectural background, Brian.
Yes, sir.
Tremendous, mammoth, there's all kind of adjectives. Jack, you were there. What kind of adjective would you use for bringing this to Dublin?
For bringing this to Dublin, difficult.
That's great.
It was a challenge. It was, but this group right here just really rose to the challenge. I mean, this is huge for the community. Obviously, it really is, and it's going to really be a blessing for all of our community, not just the restaurants and the hotels out here, but you know, there's going to be so many people here for an extended period of time that I think it's going to have a great impact.
Tracy, what adjective would you use?
I would say historical, in the sense that nothing like this has been here. We've not been, you know, prepared to handle it, but now with the facilities that we have out here, we're more than ready. So I think it's truly historical for the amount of people that we're going to have here for an extended amount of time.
And while we're talking, you're seeing drone footage of this park at Southern Pines. If you've never been out here, I don't think you understand. And looking at it from a 7th floor down, it's phenomenal. to be able to come out here and use this facility. Brian, you know, I pick grandkids up every day here, and to see 125 or so kids running around playing, having a good time. I even see Casey out with them playing, so I think we're all kid at heart, aren't we, Casey?
Yes, sir, we are.
What adjective would you use?
Extraordinary. I mean, just being able to see all the kids that were there. I didn't get to go in 2 years ago, but being there this year, getting to see all the kids there, all the families there. It's like a big group in the community coming together. It's a huge impact. We'll have an impact on our county here. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Eli?
I think I would use committed. I think when we heard that we were going for the bid and we were going to try to do it. I mean, I think we were all. It was never a question. We were all committed to it, committed to winning it. And then when we found out we were winning it, it was not too much celebrating or anything. It was we're all committed now to making it the greatest event it could be for Dublin. So I think that would be the word I would use.
I'm going to steal this word from my wife. We take a trip. We've been traveling a lot, but every time we go somewhere new, she said, James, this is monumental right here. It's monumental. I think this is a monumental event. And if you look up the definition of that, this is truly a great description of it. But we're talking about economic impact a minute ago. We're talking about in like a 2-week period. Now, we have about $100 million impact that we've talked about before, Brian, that actually, and I don't know if you know this, but the impact that we have out here decreases our property tax. I say our because we all pay them by about $400 per person. That's a lot of money right there. So we should all, whether you ever bring kids out here or not, this is quite an impact on this, not only Dublin-Laurens County, but this is going to be over the region and the state, because these people are traveling in. When they come through Columbus or wherever they come through, they're going to be stopping, buying gas, eating. So it's going to be, I feel like statewide, them getting here. Tracy, what kind of impact will it have economically?
So over the span, so explaining it and understanding that this is not the same group over a span of 2 weeks. So 1 week will be a set, and you'll have a completely different set of folks that come in that second week. And so with the algorithm that we use, it's over $2 million in economic impact for the 2-week event. So significant. And to your point, you know, the state impact, what's interesting, and if you're in the baseball world, you're not flying, because you can't fly with your tent and your chairs and your fan and all the things in your wagon that you have to bring to the ball field. So these folks are driving through our state to get to Dublin. And with us being in the middle, there's a lot they got to get to before they get to us. So,
and there's still a lot of people don't know about this facility. I was sharing with Brian recently, we were at a Braves game with the grandkids, and we were staying at Embassy Suites there right close to the ball field, and there was a bunch of travel ball around the pool. You could tell they were travel ball. And I asked one of the dads, I said, have you ever been to Dublin, Georgia? And he said, no. I said, where are y'all from? He said, Kentucky. So that tells you how far these, we know this, they travel from Kentucky to North Atlanta to play travel ball. So I see them over there talking, and one of them hollers over, we're looking at it now, they got a water park. I can't believe they got a water park. So we've got more to offer than a lot of complexes across really the southeastern United States. So, and he told me before I left, he said, we're coming there. We're going to look it up, and we're coming there. So we got to tell more people. And with Tracy at the helm of the marketing, the word's getting out. And just by this very show, people are going to see this and say, oh my gosh, I see that. They got not only a water park, we've got this arena back here, we've got this multi-purpose building, the artificial turf. What did you hear, Casey, when you were out there in Laurel, Mississippi?
So I talked, some of the people that I talked with knew about our park. So they were thrilled about that. And the one thing you mentioned, they saw we had a water park. So that was big for the families, because you bring in your brother and your sisters, and they have to have something to do. You know, they play one game a day. So having the water park, having this building, they can come up here and hit BP in some of the cages, play basketball if they want to. So that was a big part of our selling point to some of these fans, not only to some of the commissioners. They talked about bringing their families as well. So we have 41 different commissioners. I call them board members for DYB. And so we kind of expressed what we had to them, and then we had to sell it to them along with the fans and the coaches as well. So this place sells itself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Once you see it in the presentation you give, and we're going to show that in just a minute. Eli, what did you hear out in Mississippi?
Yeah, kind of the same thing Casey said. You know, after we did our presentation, there was a lot of people that were just bragging on how good we did and how good our park looked. And you know, for me, it was never a doubt after that. This place is, I've seen a lot of places playing baseball and traveling, and this place is one of the best I've ever seen. So,
Jack, you're chairman of the board. At what point did this dream come alive? Who said it, and when was it said at a board meeting? Let's do this. Let's try to get this Diamond Youth Baseball World Series here. How long ago was that?
I mean, well, back 2 years ago when Brian and some other coaches took a team there, I think it's probably always been in the back of our minds, you know, that it's a possibility. But I think it maybe got more real when they were actually there. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'd like to kind of go back a little bit to what Casey and Eli were just talking about. You know, we got there and we had to really work, you know, for this. So we got there and we realized we did a great presentation, which Tracy put together and wrote this phenomenal presentation. So we executed that, but then we realized we had a lot more work to do. We had to really sell everybody there, the coaches, the families, those commissioners that Casey mentioned, you know, those were the voters. So we couldn't always get to them, and they had, you know, might have had some different reasons that they wanted it to be somewhere else. So we had to sell Southern Pines to the families, the kids, the parents, you know, the coaches, and get them to kind of reach out to those commissioners to vote for Southern Pines. But the interesting thing was the places that they had been before were nothing like this. So it was an easy sell. When we were there, we were in Laurel, Mississippi for the games. You had to travel to Hattiesburg to stay to your hotel.
30 minutes, probably.
Yeah. So
And we made the trip a lot.
yeah, you'd have to go back
3 times a day.
Yeah, somebody left their jersey, you know, or whatever. You know, there's many things, many reasons, but you know, that just the fact that our hotels are right here, you can throw a rock, you know, and then having things like this in the water park to do here, having lots of fields and parking that's right at the fields, and you know, it was an easy sell. But when people kind of have their idea of where they want it to be, you got to convince them. This facility is just, they're going to be so happy when they get here.
Yeah, they'll be blown away, no doubt. Yeah.
But your question was really, you know, when did the idea start? I think that's maybe more for Brian.
Hold on to that thought one
Okay.
minute. We got to take a commercial break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Get a great deal on a great-looking lawn and a really comfortable ride. The Kubota Z200 Series mowers with the K-Ride Comfort System. Designed to optimize your ride so you have everything you need to glide your way to a perfectly manicured lawn. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for $0 down, 1.99% APR for 24 months.
Mid-State Tractor and Equipment is now located at 492 Fire Tower Road in Dublin.
Welcome back, everybody. Continuing our conversation. Brian, I interrupted you just a minute ago. Why don't you pick it up and run with it?
So the question was, when did we decide that, you know, or with the board and everything, as far as like when we really wanted to go after it, you know, shortly after we got back, you know, I'd sat down with Casey and talked to him from the 2024 World Series, and we won. Banners over there.
Yep.
So,
Insert.
and you know, it really was. It's one of those things that we had such a good time, and a really good time for our community. I can't remember how many people. I think at one time it was 20-something thousand people had watched it online, the live stream, which was really cool. you know, again, to bring stuff like that to Dublin, Georgia, again, this is, we have baseball tournaments. We have tournaments that are a lot bigger than this event, but they may be over a 2-day span. But for us to get this is really not a feather in our cap, but it's more so for this group of people and for Jack and Casey and Eli. It just shows you how good our community is and our board and the people that work for the recreation department, and they just make me look good. For me, being able to come to work and see the things that we have in Dublin, Georgia, still blows my mind every day when I pull up and realize that, you know, this park, this building, how many changes has happened since me and Jack have been together as far as the rec department goes, me being the director and him being the chairman, and you know how big of an asset he's been for me and what he's meant to me. So
that's probably true.
But you know, this is going to be such a good deal for our community, but this is going to be such a big deal for the rec department because, again, having it since '08 in Georgia, you know, we could sit back and not do this and it be, you know, and us just keep doing what we're doing, but to take, I know for myself, I'm not a very big public speaker. Those two aren't for sure. And you know, to take and how do you grow? You got to be put in uncomfortable positions, and we all were. You know, we were throwing some curveballs in this situation, and I look up and I see Jack Walker, who's a chairman that don't make a dime for this, you know, out of this, and he's out there literally running to go talk to a group from Tennessee or running to go talk to a group from Arkansas or going to talk, you know, see a guy from, a coach from North Carolina at the hotel and doing all this stuff. And he ain't got to go do that. But what's he doing for our community and this department? It's just special. Again, putting people out of comfortable positions, and I think we're all in that. So.
Okay, we won the bid now. What's next? What do we do now? We don't have a long time. Trust me, the way time flies. I was just reading the book of James. It says life's a vapor, then we vanish. You know, so y'all know this. Y'all hadn't, but we've lived long enough to know time just slips away, and before you know it, we're going to be sitting here, all these teams coming in, just that quick. So what happens now? What kind of planning?
Well, Brian said it best when we were down there, and I don't know, he may not even remember saying this, but he said, you know, guys, we may catch this tiger by the tail.
Yeah.
So we caught the tiger by the tail,
yeah.
And we understood the commitment going in because Casey provided us with notebooks of the expectations, and it's 2 years worth of expectations that we've got to meet in terms of the guidelines and the requests and the accommodations, and there's rules and regs for everything that we've got to prepare for, including going and working next year's. So we'll be boots on the ground next year at the World Series in South Carolina.
Yep.
So that'll be a great experience for us. But this is where, you know, we pitched the community. So a big part of what I did down there along with these guys was pitch what we had here, not just here meaning our community, here meaning our state. So, you know, the video that we put together highlighted Dublin and showed such a fun side to who we are, and that was great. And you know, as a result of that, we're going to look to that same community that we highlighted in the video to help us make this happen.
Okay, now's the perfect time to show the video.
Absolutely.
Don't you think? Okay, take a look.
Yeah. Come on. Let's go. I'm gonna show you how I do. Gonna keep on till I break through. I'm gonna show you a thing or two. Ain't go. Hey, gonna keep on doing what I do, yeah. Gonna take it high, gonna take it low. Gonna keep on doing what I do, yeah. Do what I do. Gonna do my thing. Do what I do. Gonna do my thing. Gonna do my thing. Off I go, off to the races. No ribbons for second places. No time for rest. Never settle for second best. Spectacular, miraculous. Feels so good, feeling glorious, yeah. Clap along and sing. Gonna do my thing. Ain't no stopping me. Gonna do my thing. Let's go. Gonna keep on doing what I do, yeah.
Okay, what about the politics? You talked about commissioners. How many commissioners were there that actually voted?
There were, is there 41
So
or
I
42?
think there was 41, 42,
Okay.
around that range.
Each state got had four commissioners, so
Okay.
each state got 4 votes.
So what kind of put us at a disadvantage is what I call it. Our Georgia voters, there was 2 that were sick and couldn't come.
Oh.
So I know one from Florida as well and one from North Carolina. So we're kind of looking at that like, now we really got to put in the work. And that's when all of us went out. We all went to a different field. We all
Yep.
went and talked to the commissioners, the coaches, like we said earlier.
Divide and conquer.
So that's when
200 degrees, by the way.
Absolutely.
In Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, we just went with it, and we knew we were at a disadvantage at that point of things. But we know our part, like we've mentioned many times. It can sell itself if we just put it in their ear and let them know what we have.
Okay, what were y'all saying now? Y'all divided and conquered. Y'all went out, talked to different commissioners. Maybe some you talked to multiple times or different people. It's amazing sometimes a face change we know that, a different face, different personality. So what were they saying? What was their comments back to y'all?
So what I tried to do, I tried to just ask them about where they live, what state they were from. So one thing I ran with, there's 2 commissioners that I talked to that I actually played summer ball close to where they live now. So I just went off that and just talked about their hometown. So I lived the whole summer there. So I kind of used my baseball background of getting to know them, and they want to talk baseball. That's why they're there, all about baseball.
Common ground.
Yes, sir.
But you know, we had, our competition, our main competition there for getting this was Louisiana, near New Orleans. So we knew that Texas wasn't gonna, we're probably not getting Texas votes because they don't want to, they'd rather drive they don't want to drive all the way to Georgia. And we knew Mississippi, and Arkansas were probably gonna vote for
Shorter
Louisiana.
drive,
Yeah, and
Except JJ.
yeah, and then there were some, well, I won't say alliances, but there were just some maybe politics there, as there is anywhere.
That's right.
But then we were like, okay, well, Alabama is in between. It's almost equidistant, so we need to focus on Alabama. We need Alabama's votes. And you could tell by the jerseys what teams were from Alabama. Well, I went to Auburn. So I find a guy, I'm like, hey, where in Alabama are you from? 10 times out of 10, they were Bama fans, but we joked about that. It just gave us an end to a conversation, and then we sold them on the park.
Yeah.
And in the end, we won most of, I think, well, I shouldn't say which states we won.
We
but
weren't in the room when the
we
vote
won.
happened.
Yeah, we got votes that we didn't expect to get, that we fought hard for, but we didn't know that we would get. And when the tally came down, we realized we had won some votes that geographically didn't even make sense, but there were reasons. This park is just incredible.
And the way y'all talk to them, that southern hospitality, being able to know how to talk to people, meeting them.
I learned every every doctor's appointment they had been to. I mean, we sat and we chatted, and it was nonstop.
You want us to pray with you? We'll pray
right.
with you, man.
Well,
we're in.
We're already praying, so
Yeah,
let's pray with you.
just add it to the list. Yeah.
So do we know how much we won by? Do we know that?
I
Was
I
it
don't,
close? Was
I don't
it-
know if
We've kind of heard different answers, but around 10 votes maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was close, but you had
Yeah.
enough to,
Yeah.
and you got votes you didn't think you'd get, is what you're saying,
That's
right?
right.
But going that extra mile is what, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody was going, you know, talking to people, talking to coaches, getting coaches to call their national director, their representation. So again, what you're hearing is extra mile, like what everybody did. And, you know, again, doing this stuff is just a commitment to this department.
There's one man that's not here I wish was here. Jack, I want you to talk about it a little bit, but Louis Curry deserves a whole lot of the credit. I was in a meeting with him and Will the other day and having the same conversation, and he's humble about it. He don't want to take the credit, but too bad. And he's watching this right now, I guarantee you. So let's talk about Mr. Louis.
Yeah. You know, so Louis was the chairman before me, and he was the chairman for 20 years. He was the chairman, I think, from the time Southern
That's
Pine
right.
started up
He was.
until 2019. And he, I mean, Louis is a legend. We all know that.
Amen.
You know, he did a fantastic job steering this ship over those 20 years, and I can go into a list of reasons why I think that and believe that. But even after he stepped out and I came in, there were, I don't know, a couple of years I'd call Louis and say, hey, you know, he had a beautiful garden. He has a really beautiful garden at his house. And he'd be out there working the garden. I'm like, hey, can I have some garden time? I need to sit and bend your ear and find out. Like, I go to Louis for a lot of things for wisdom. You know, he's a great resource, but here especially, you know, he's a fantastic resource.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take another break, and we'll come back right after this.
At Houston Clinic, we base our award-winning patient care on a platform of specially trained physicians like Dr. Gay and Dr. Richter and specialized healthcare professionals who work together on one common goal: our patients. Our integrated system of research, education, and treatment is patient-focused, making all the difference in providing quality care. If you're experiencing pain from arthritis, bone spurs, bursitis, fractures, joint pain, ligament or tendon injuries, overusage injuries, sprained strains, or osteoporosis, the Houston Clinic is only a phone call away. Call us today and we'll get you on the road to a better tomorrow. The Houston Clinic, 100 Medical Drive, Suite 400 in Dublin.
Welcome back, everybody. We'll continue our conversation. If you're just joining us, we'll air this program again. You can go to our social media platforms and watch it. Share it around. Let other people see it. And with that said, what can we do as a community to make sure this is a success? Who wants to take that? Or multiple people?
Well, I'll start, but everybody can chime in on this one. But we just need buy-in from the community. We need sponsors. You know, we're going to have to come to, and we also, beyond that, we really, there's a lot of things that Tracy mentioned. There are a lot of things that we now have to do to get, things that we need to fix, or a couple of little minor renovations, and there's things that we really need to do to prep this for that. And we probably need a little help from Georgia Power on a couple of things. There's just, it's more than just, our team. It's more than even just sponsorships from the community, which we definitely need. But it even kind of goes further out. We've got our city and our county that always come to help, and provide assistance and resources. So we're going to be leaning on everybody.
Okay. You hear that, Joey Barrett? We need help from Georgia Power. So, Tracy, what can we do as a community?
So the one thing that we really talked about is when Dublin hosts anything, we show up. And so outside of the fiscal help in terms of sponsorships, support this is going to be the biggie. One thing that we noticed, and all communities have their goods and their bads. One thing that I noticed from my perspective is, this year the buzz was just at the ballpark. There was really no buzz anywhere else in that community. I want to see every sign that we have. Welcome World Series players. I want something in the newspaper every day. James, I want you talking to somebody every day if we can within you know the guidelines.
Absolutely.
You know, I want this to be all over this region. I don't want all the fun and the buzz to just be out here at Southern Pines.
That'd be a waste.
So we want everybody to show up.
Yeah.
That's going to be a biggie.
Yeah. Casey.
So I'm gonna go a different direction a little bit. So I want more kids to show up for our rec sports. So what we do get to offer is we get to put an automatic bid in and having a team in the World Series. So I know your son or your grandson, plays in our rec program.
Right.
And I just want more kids to buy into this and maybe get to have this experience.
And even come out and watch.
Yeah, come out and even watch. I mean, so hopefully to grow our program and come together as one.
You know, that's actually a great point. And having, you know, getting buy-in from the community, not just for sponsorships and all, but come out here.
Yeah.
Like get out, come out and watch and be a part of it and experience the energy of it. And, you know, it's, I think that'd be a great thing. It's great, great.
And when we see these people, make them feel welcome.
Yes.
You know, do you need direct? You can tell. You know, I'm a tag reader, Brian. We've talked about this. I read tags everywhere. You know, downtown, I see Emmanuel and Putnam and Peach, and you know, people. And we're going to see that out here when I come to a tournament. I see tags from Effingham County and Rockdale, South Carolina, wherever, all over this place. So we need to make them feel welcome. You know, help them out, get them in the right direction, tell them where to eat at if they need suggestions. Of course, all the hotels are going to be full for way away from Dublin. They're going to be getting hotels. All ours will be sold out. We'll need more hotels, I'm sure. Jack, you're going to build a hotel before this gets here? That's the word on the street.
Idea. It really is it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of word on the street.
Not to put you on the spot.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what though, people think we have a lot of hotels here. Like, what are we going to do with another? They're building another hotel. We could use at least
Absolutely.
two.
Yeah. You talk to the hotel owners, we know how many heads in beds in this community, and that's so important. Eli?
Yeah, I would piggyback off what Miss Tracy said. Just support us. You know, if nothing, there's going to be a lot of things going on and a lot of moving parts when the tournament gets here. And like Mr. Jack said, we got stuff to do to the park, small stuff to fix it. But just support us if you can't do anything else. You know, if you feel like there's so many people already helping, I promise you, there's more stuff that we need. You know, just support us and just be a helping hand and be a good person and help us out.
Well, nobody said, get your grass cut, okay? Clean the yard up, you know, coming into Dublin.
Make Dublin look good.
Yeah,
That's
let's
right.
make it look good.
Yeah.
So you might not be as OCD as I am, but, you know, let's get everything looking good, you know. So, Jack?
Well, so I'd said, you know, about city and county coming in and helping us, and Georgia Power, and hopefully, and, you know, just a lot of different people that can help. But I didn't mention the state level because, you know, Matt Hatchett is our representative, and he's developed a lot of clout at the state level, and so he can help us. You know, he can drive some funding back down here for some of the things that we need to do. There are a couple of things that we need to do here that are very expensive things that, and you know, the city and the county are super helpful and supportive, but you can't just keep going back to the same well over and over and over. You know, so we're hoping to get some funding down here to fix some lights. Our lights are outdated here, not terribly, but enough that, you know, we need they're old lights. We need LED lights. There's things like that that'll kind of keep us going into the future, and those are big expenses. Don't need those necessarily for this event, but it's also, we do have a few lighting issues that we have to fix that are on our list, but having those guys, him and Larry Walker at the state level, to help us with things is just invaluable.
Yeah, well, having a friend that's chairman of the appropriations committee, that can't hurt.
That's right.
And people don't realize, you mentioned Matt, people don't realize what he does for this community. The money that, because the county and the city, I mean, it's just not a well that you can keep going to. It eventually is going to run dry, but Matt does bring a lot of money to this community.
Yes, he does.
Casey, you're head of Legacy Sports. What kind of impact did that play in this?
So with the Legacy Sports part of it, it's a lot of my kids from my Legacy Travel Ball, which is Travel Ball, is Legacy Sports. I bring a lot of my travel ball players, hopefully, want to come join our DYB circuit and get some playing time with that. We just want the numbers to grow. More kids, more on the field, giving them something away from school, another activity. So that's our goal.
And get away from them video games.
Yes,
get
sir.
outside. That's my rule at the house. The heck with them video games. We going on the golf cart, the four-wheeler, we fishing, we doing something. Kids need to be outside.
Yes,
You're just more healthy. That sun's good for you. And you know, and Brian, you know this, we want them to fall in love with baseball.
Yes, sir.
We want them to fall in love with the sport.
Baseball's been good to me. You know, to touch a little bit on what Casey was talking about too, though, with legacy sports, and this is the one thing that I think a lot of people don't realize with legacy sports, especially the baseball and softball side. I know a lot of people think that this is your upper tier athletes, these phenomenal athletes, and we're just catering to a small group of kids. All these kids play rec ball, all these kids play Little League. They're wanting something more, so they play travel ball. But they're all rec ball kids. Every one of them.
Yeah.
Every one of them has come through the recreation department or Little League. Every one of them. So it's not like you've got this select group of kids that are just playing travel ball and that's all they do. And they, you know, it's like I was telling a guy the other day. I was explaining to a guy at the office the other day. He goes, "What is legacy sports?" And I was telling him, I was like, "It's just kids that want a higher level of service, and that's what they get through travel ball." I said, "But every one of these kids, we have 20 teams. 18 of those teams are rec ball teams that play travel ball. Travel ball teams, you know, when I think of travel ball teams, your bigger travel ball teams, they come from all over. You may have 3 kids from Lawrence County, 4 kids from Dodge County, 2 kids from Johnson County, kids from all over, but majority of our teams are kids from Lawrence County. And we're just providing to them a little bit more than what rec ball gives them and Little League gives them. And hey, look, that's a good thing. It is a really good thing because what we're able to do with that and provide services.
But it all starts in the backyard. Our dads, we started in the house, and then my 2-year-old started breaking things, so we had to move it outside. And now when he hits off that tee at 4, every ball's a home run.
Yes, sir.
He runs the bases, and he's already, and that's what, as parents and grandparents, every one of us, we played in the backyard, and we were the hero. We were our dad's hero, our granddad's hero. So it starts there, and then when they get to Southern Pines, they already want to play, and they want to love it, and we want to make it the best experience. And that's what, Jack, the board's all about, creating the best experience for our community, isn't it?
It is, and we have a fantastic board. We really have honestly, we have a dream board right now. It's not always been that way. And to have a supportive board of people who believe in what we're doing, everybody's on the same page. There's nobody off in some, left field. It's
No
just
pun
a really
intended.
great, right? Yeah, it's just great having that symbiotic relationship with everybody at the table.
And they were just as excited. I mean, it's not often, Brian said, they're blowing me up wanting to know if we know yet. It was really good
were
to hear
invested.
that they wanted to know what was going on while we were over there and get a play-by-play.
Yeah. But we keep talking about city and county, but Brian Rogers and Josh Powell, first of all, they work together so well. Their cities within an hour here, I'm not going to mention the name, everybody knows them, they can't get along for nothing.
Right.
But our city and county, city councils and county commissioners and Brenda Chain, Jimmy Rogers, all of them, but the main two is Brian and Josh Powell. They're sold out on recreation in our community, so they get a lot of the credit. And I know the commissioner and city council, they have to approve things, but I guarantee you Brian and Josh takes y'all's phone calls anytime you call.
They absolutely do.
Or call you back, one or the other.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got to take another break. We're going to come back and wrap things up.
You ready to meet the latest addition to the family? The money you saved us with auto owners helped make it all possible. It really is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Excuse me?
Third best thing. Third best thing.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
Ask Curry Maffin Insurance in Dublin and Augusta if auto owners make sense for you.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to kind of wrap things up here. What about, we talked about the community and the state, but what about national exposure? Tracy, I'm going to throw that to you. What kind of national exposure, or will any of this be televised?
So DYB actually has their own streaming service that you buy a subscription to. And the good thing about that is nationwide, you're going to have not just parents and siblings that are going to be there with the kids. You're going to have aunts and uncles, grandparents, cousins that are going to be watching that. I think Brian said when we played there, if there were over 20-something thousand folks watching their game. So that's going to be the national exposure, and that's going to be right here in Dublin. So that's just one avenue that it's going to have that.
So what kind of residual value? Maybe multiple ones want to take it, but when this is all said and done, it's over with, the lights go out, what do we see the residual 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road?
I think for us is going to be, you know, proven to that group of national directors they did make the right decision, and that, you know, hey, look, can we get the 6 and 8U next in 2 years and just start stacking it, and you know, again, from what I saw, the way this thing works is, you know, we do a really good job. We're going to get opportunities to do things. Again, our community is special. I think, you know, if we get people that will get in and welcome, this group is going to do their job. We're going to get out there. We're going to be prepared. Again, the work starts now, because 2 years, like you said earlier, is going to come on us pretty quick. But we're going to try to stagger some things in this budget and stagger some things in next budget, and make all this happen. And we're going to need community support, and the community's always been there, so we're not worried about that.
Absolutely. Anybody else on that? It's more than baseball, though, y'all. And I want to get this in before we close. You know, Diamond Youth Baseball has awarded over $4 million in college scholarships. So this is more than a baseball game or a World Series in Dublin. There's a lot of money been awarded. So that helps mom and daddy and grandparents out, because college costs a lot of money, y'all. We know it, and it's getting more and more every year. So this baseball league is phenomenal. We started with the adjectives. I guess we're going to end with them, but think about and talk about the scholarships that can be provided.
So a percentage of each ticket sold, whether you buy a day pass or a pass for the whole tournament, a percentage of that goes to the scholarship fund. And so, you know, just by coming out here and participating in the event, you're participating in someone's future through that scholarship program. Now, as far as all the different parameters that go into how they award those, it's just really cool to know that, you know, by simply showing up, you're supporting and doing something for others.
We can be a part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, before we go, I'll give each one of you the opportunity. Is there anything we have not touched on you want to say? Well, that's the only question everybody got quiet, huh?
Yeah.
No, I think it's tough to answer that, because there still is so much that, you know, it was 4 days of, and I'll wrap with this, you know, several people asked me about the picture that we chose to post when we announced it. You know, we're not in a boardroom, we're not wearing a suit and tie. That was taken at about 8:15, 8:30 one evening, and we had been at the ball field all day. And
we
so
had fully sweated through those clothes.
that was real life, what we looked like while we were down there.
We're looking at the picture right now, so a picture's worth 1,000 words.
So that's why we chose that, because that's what it was like. We were hoofing it, and we were on our feet for 10, 12 plus hours every day. And, you know, I couldn't be more proud to be with these guys, even in a car for 8 hours.
She's a trooper.
That couldn't be
Putting up
pleasant.
with I know.
That could not have been
with that.
pleasant.
Yeah.
No
But-
picture, no video there, I hope.
I did drive all the way out there, James, and dang near all the way back. So I just want to make sure that's
Well, that was probably a safety net.
for the
right
people
there.
that say I don't drive anywhere. So
They stuck me in the back the whole time. So.
Hey, I got to know, Tracy, you mentioned it a while ago, but before we close, you talked about a book that Casey had come up with.
Yes.
Casey, what about that?
So the book is, when I did the first initial bid, so two of the president and the co-president, or I'm not sure the real name for him, but they came down and looked at our part, and so it was a book of achievements you got to do, the book of, like, I can explain a couple of things. So why the kids are here. If they have a birthday party, we have to provide cupcakes or a cake to the whole team and that kid. So other things is you got to have the right patches on. You got to, all the kids have to have a pen. So pen trading is a big thing.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things while we were at the tournament, all these kids running around. Hey, do you have this pen? Do you have this pen? So that's pretty neat to see. But it's a binder of objectives of what we have to do and have to get prepared for, just for our two-year coming.
Then at that inspection,
That's how they made us aware of how we got to fix our lights and some of the things to the dugout. That's what they came and did.
To-do list.
Yeah.
Was you going to say something?
that was,
Yeah.
I knew that Eli would say it better than that.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to save the day. That's why he's down there.
That's right.
We got bookends right here. Brian, we give you the last word?
Again, for me, going out there and playing, again, I keep going back to playing in that event and just remembering some of the memories, watching some of those kids and seeing those kids 2 years removed from that. Man, what a great experience. You'll remember that stuff so much more. And listen, I'm in the travel ball industry, and I get that part of it. But you will have better memories because of Little League and DYB stuff that you're doing with your teams than you will in travel ball.
Yeah.
And it's just when you're playing for your community, it's super important.
Yeah.
So.
It's a proud moment.
Yes, sir.
It is. Brian, you're usually not emotional, but when you start talking about that, you did perk up and sit up in the seat a little bit. You get a little emotional there.
Yes, sir. My
You
back's
gonna cry
hurting
on me or
too.
what?
No, my back's hurting.
Right. Yeah, mine too.
Okay, guys, thank you, Tracy.
Thank
you make
you.
the crowd look good
Very
here.
much.
That's why we
Yeah.
put you in the middle.
That's right.
Yeah, put you next to Jack and Casey there. So, well, thank you, guys. Thank you, young lady. It was really interesting, and I hope if you didn't get in on the whole show, we want you to look at it and know what we need to do. We as a community want this to be successful, and we want back-to-back some of these, get 6U and 8U, and then the next year get whatever. I mean, let's just start back-to-back. That's a good goal, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, for us, I just sitting here thinking of the things, and I'm open to anything that anybody in the community thinks that we can do to add to people having such a great experience. But like little things that we can do in this World Series and that we didn't see out there and we talked about was having like player of the games. That may be something that you can help us with. I know we've done that in the past.
Yeah.
And that to me, when you can make that experience for these kids, man, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And just call us instead of posting it on Facebook. That would be great.
You took the words out of my mouth, Jack. You stole my thunder there.
Oh, I'm
but I'm
sorry.
going to play off of that. Instead of all the complaints, if you got an idea, because look, I need all the help I can get. And anybody's honest with themselves, we need help. We want positive help. The critical stuff, I can tell you all the bad stuff about myself. You don't have to tell me.
We know
my
of
faults.
it. Yeah.
My faults are more than anybody sitting here, but all ways we can help each other.
Yeah.
And that's where we can really rise to the occasion. So, and all boats can rise together. So, but anyway, great minds think alike, Jack.
There you go.
Okay, thank y'all again, and thank you so much for joining us today.